Well, good morning. We are leaving my apartment here now, and I am heading off to Monterrey, Mexico. So this is a city in northern Mexico, and I'm very excited, and I have almost no plan. I haven't even booked my hotel, but I'm flying there this morning. It's about a 2.5 hour flight, and then gonna figure everything out once I get there. But I'm actually going to a party tonight. So I know someone in Monterrey, and it is their birthday. And so that I know is my plan for the end of the day. The rest of the day, no idea. So let's get going. Well, hello from Monterrey. We have made it. We're here in Mexico, so I just passed through the passport control, and now I'm leaving the airport, so I'm gonna grab an Uber and head into the city. It's a bit further than I thought. It's a 45-minute drive from the airport into the city, but that is where we're going next, and my Spanish is doing well. I held up so far. They asked me if I had a connection as I was coming in, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna know I'm a gringo immediately. But she said, ¿Tienes conexión? Something along those lines, and I was like, no, I don't. And so I was able to keep going. So I passed the first test here, but there's gonna be many more. I have made it to the city, got my Uber, went to the hotel, checked in, well, actually couldn't check in, left my bag there. So now I'm out exploring, and Monterrey is really beautiful. You can see these beautiful statues right behind me. And so we're actually kind of in the central park of the city, and they are setting up this Christmas tree. It's right around Christmas, actually, in a few weeks. And so really nice city so far. So I am actually coming here because I want to eat. So that is the #1 priority. And so the unique thing about the cuisine here in Monterrey and Nuevo Leon, that is the province that we're in, this part of Mexico, it's not like the most crop growing region, because northern Mexico is really a desert. So beef, particularly cattle, is like the main food to eat here. Also goat. And so I'm actually going to this place that serves goat, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get there. But look at this beautiful church again, right behind me. It's really like your classic northern Mexico city here. Northern Mexican city, really beautiful. So as I continue my journey, I'm in the Barrio Antiguo. So I'm staying at a hotel like really in the center of town. And this Barrio Antiguo, that in Spanish means old neighborhood. And so I'm walking around that old neighborhood. There's a lot of like restaurants and hotels. You can even see they're trying to hype it up here. Visit the barrio. So yeah, this is the first place I'm going. And so I'm going to this place. It's called El Rey de Cabrito. And cabrito is like a goat that they grill, basically. They like slice it open, and they're gonna be grilling it over some coals, and we're gonna go see that and try that, and I am so excited. That is like the main food of Nuevo Leon and Monterrey. It's that cabrito. Well, believe it or not, they are not open. They are under investigation. So some sort of investigation is happening. I hope it is not health standards, but looks like I am not gonna be eating here. So we'll see where I figure out to go next. Hola, ¿cuánto cuesta por cuántos minutos? Normal 10 minutos. ¿Y cuánto cuesta? Ok, 100 pesos. Ok, vamos a ver. Más después. Gracias. So you can get a massage here for, what is it, 100 pesos for 10 minutes? So that's no gracias. So 100 pesos, 10 minutes, that's about $5, maybe $6 for a little massage. It's kind of a little expensive. If you were to like put that out by the full hour, it would actually be like almost $60 for an hour. Or well, no, $30 for an hour, something like that. So yeah, kind of expensive, but it's interesting. We're here in the park. I'm passing through to get. I still want to try this goat. I came here for the goat. So like the place to try the goat is closed, but we're gonna go to the next place. There's a lot of people selling snacks and souvenirs and things here in the park. I saw someone selling like some street hot dogs. I would have gotten one if I wasn't like trying to get this goat. So that's where I'm going now. I'm walking to the goat and moving my way through the city. Another attraction of this city is this fountain, the Fountain of Neptune. You can see Neptune up there right behind me. So there's this park that sort of runs through really like what is the center of the city. And it's very beautiful, and a lot of people are out here, but this is the fountain. And I see a lady selling horchata, so let's give it a try. Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cuánto cuesta un vaso de horchata? ¿Hay cuáles? Una pequeña.
Esta.
Sí.
Está en 30 y 50.
Ok.
¿Chico grande?
Sí, este.
Chico.
Chico, sí.
¿Esa más?
Sí. Gracias. So we got the horchata here. Let's try it. Oh, very refreshing. It's actually... Gracias. Just got my change. It's... You know, it might not even be horchata. It looks like it, but it has a coconut flavor. It's very refreshing. So I don't actually know the name of this. I don't know. It tastes like horchata, but it's a little. It's different. It's a little bit different, but yeah. So in the park, a lot of vendors. Just over here, another one selling these. I see they're also selling like corn that they're grilling, and then they put hot sauce on it. That seems another very popular thing here. Essentially, I feel like if you go anywhere in Mexico, the hot sauce is a very important part of it. But so now we got to figure out how to go forward here. Maybe go over this way. Well, we've made it, and they are abierto. That means they are open. El asador del cabrito. So that is the griller of the small goats, el cabrito, and it says abierto. Hola. Hola. ¿Una persona? Sí. Cualquier. Gracias. Ooh, it smells good in here. Wow. I think there appears to be a guy playing music, so maybe find a more quiet spot. Hola. Aquí está bien. I'm just coming all the way down here. Aquí está bien. ¿Cómo? Solo uno.
Ah, es muy grande la mesa.
Ah, ok. La otra está bien, sí.
Gracias.
All right, wait for our menu here. Hola, gracias. Gracias. So here we see it, El Cabrito. You could buy a whole one for like 3,500. But ooh, we could try a few things here. So you can hear the music behind me. I hope this doesn't create some problems for the video. But we've got some chips and salsa. So let's give it a try. This looks really good. Oh yeah. Ooh. It's got some heat. And it's warm. That's the other thing. See that with some of the way they prepare these salsas. They come actually warm. Gracias. Ooh. Stuff is addicting. So I see them over there. They're preparing the goat. So they just have these huge goats strung out that they're grilling. Let's see if I can get an image there. Okay, gracias.
Video?
Sí, sí.
Mira.
Wow.
Mira.
Wow.
This is
So this is El Cabrito.
cabrito, sí.
Sí.
Pasa.
I'm getting a tour in the kitchen now.
Bienvenido la gente de Ohio.
¿De cuál?
De
Soy de Atlanta, pero tengo fans de todo el mundo. ¿Quieres decir algo?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Héctor Gómez. Estoy aquí en la ciudad de Monterrey, el restaurante El Asador del Cabrito. Cuando gusten, miren, qué rico.
Sí, qué rico.
Y bienvenidos.
Gracias. Esos son los machitos, sí. Y esos son
Tostadas.
tostadas, tortilla tostada. Y eso es carne a la...
Carne
sí.
de arrachera, ajá. Carne de res.
Ah, ok.
Y acá, miren mis cocineros, si no, yo estuviera aquí con ellos. Martín.
Muy rápido, gracias. Gracias. I've been here like 1 minute and the food came out. I'm shocked. But you can see it just sizzling. So we have the cabrito on my left here. That's the goat. And this is the machito. That is the intestine of the goat. And so they've been fried. And you can really smell it. It smells amazing. So this is like the typical dish of Nuevo Leon. That is what they are proud of. We've also got this little soup here. So we'll try that as well. We'll let you know. Other thing it comes with too are these tortillas. You see them. They're in this tortilla holder wrapped in a cloth. That keeps them warm. And eating this food with tortilla. Okay, some of the meat in my tortilla. Delicious. Another thing you can actually do is put on this red sauce. It's kind of like a soup. You can put that on there, like this. Ooh, look at that. Oh, this is so hot. Wow. Super good. Now we're going to try the intestine here. The machitos. So they basically like wrap up all the innards. I think it's a lot of different things. And they grill them or fry them. I'm not sure. It depends how. These might have been fried on the outside. Yeah, we can see it. So you see like some of the insides there, and it's It's got a grilled, crispy outer texture. It's very nice. I'm not typically a innards kind of guy, but actually like the way the flavors is really very good. I'm actually trying it now with some of the salsa on there. I took some of that hot salsa, so let's see. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's good. The meat is so succulent and juicy. And then there's the spice at the end, I love it. So the house has given me a shot of mezcal. So I'm super excited to try this. And this is how they typically do it, how to really take a tequila shot 101. So you want to get a little salt on your hand here. So you can actually take this, the lime here, you rub it on your hand so it gets a little bit of moisture there. You pour the salt on, and then what you're going to want to do is lick the salt and take your shot and then bite the lime at the end. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, I gotta figure out what to do with my hands. Okay, so we're gonna lick it, then we're gonna shot, then we're gonna bite, okay? So 3, 2, 1. Very good. So when you're actually drinking the higher quality stuff, that's when that's when it actually goes down a lot smoother. So that's what you want to do. So I'm gonna pay, I'm gonna get out of here, and we're gonna keep exploring.
Yo tomo videos. Yo tomo yo.
Yeah, sí, sí. We're here con el cabrito. You can see it looks so good. So I just finished eating, and this was amazing. I definitely recommend coming out and checking out this place, El Asador, here in Monterrey in Mexico. Oh wow, that was a fun visit at that restaurant. So as I was leaving, the owner like called me back in. So I don't think he knew me. I'd be very surprised if he knew who I was, but he knew I was like, must have been some YouTuber guy. And so he gave me like a tour of his kitchen. He even gave me a calendar, as they say here, calendario, about El Asador del Cabrito. So a really cool restaurant, nice guy. His name is Hector, and he's the one running it. Yeah, people are pretty kind here. That was a cool interaction, being like my first few hours in this city. So I am really full. That was a lot of food. I was actually, my plan today was gonna eat. I was gonna stop at like multiple different places and eat along my way, but I am, wow, there's like a parade going on, so I'm turning around to go check that out. But yeah, I was gonna like eat all day, and I think that first meal was too much. It finished me. So so we'll see. Maybe I can eat something small to continue this vlog here. So there's people marching through the street, all wearing orange, and I'm not sure what they are doing, but I'm gonna follow them and we're gonna find out. So way up in front, they're carrying like looks like an effigy or something of something, but then there's some people with signs, so we'll find out. Hola, ¿dónde van?
Peregrinación.
¿Cuál es este? ¿Dónde van? ¿Por qué?
Vamos a una iglesia.
La iglesia, oh, es algo, okay. Ah, muy bien. So they're going to the church, so it's actually a religious thing. Es una persona está muerto? No. No.
Es como en honor a la Virgen.
¿Es como algo?
En honor a la Virgen.
Oh, okay. So it's I think it's like a Catholic religious thing. They were talking about something with the Virgin. I asked them if someone died, and they said no, somebody did die. I think it's like a religious thing. So they are walking to the church right now, and I guess I'll just keep following it and see where it goes, see what they're doing. They've got some music going. I like the tunes. So as I've been walking through the city, I've definitely stumbled on what is the dark side of Monterrey. And so yeah, you're seeing me enjoying myself and having fun, but there is a serious, still some very serious problems with the cartels here. And so you see these images, these are all people that have disappeared at some point within the last several years. So we see a guy in 2021, right here, Vicente, disappeared. We see Humberto in 2011. And so we see these people that have disappeared from the, and there's a full park of them that have been disappeared, and essentially nobody knows what happened to them. And in some cases, it was the government in the fight against drug cartels. It was the cartels themselves that have terrorized a lot of this area. I think Monterrey is relatively safer than some of the other towns, of course, but that danger, you know, is palpable and very real here and still ongoing. You saw 2011, there were people disappearing 2022, 2023. And so definitely a serious part of northern Mexico with the war on drugs and the cartels in these areas. And so you definitely see some of those signs and those raw reminders right here in the park. And so, you know, what I know about traveling here, and, you know, I should obviously address the safety. What I know about traveling here is, you know, these organizations aren't targeting foreigners, especially Americans. They don't want trouble with America. That's disturbing their business. So someone like me is not the primary target of anything like that visiting here. However, violence does happen, and you could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that has come up. Americans have come down here for various reasons. Recently it was for medical tourism, and they were killed. And what I read about that story was it was a wrong place, wrong time kind of situation. They weren't the targets of that violence, but by being just unlucky, you know, those things happen, and that's a very real reality here in Monterrey. Come now to a walking street here, just packed with people, as you can see, and pretty popular place to be on a Sunday afternoon here in Monterrey. But yeah, we're just walking around, exploring this city. I'm gonna come in this 7-Eleven here, and there's actually a drink from Monterrey, and I'm gonna see if they have it. So let's go inside and maybe we'll see. Good. You only pay in cash here. Okay, we found it, Hoya. So Hoya is from Monterrey. It's now sold in other places, but up until 2004, you could not buy this drink anywhere else. You could only buy it in Nuevo Leon province. And so we're gonna try it. We got apple flavor here. Eso es 10.
10.
Y eso es 5. Pero tengo una 8. Gracias. Chao. we got the La Hoya. So as I said, this is from this province, only made here until 2004. It was like a local brand. Now it's owned by Coca-Cola and it's like all over Mexico and maybe even other countries, I don't even know. But yeah, this is like the drink of Monterrey. So let's try it. We'll open it here. So this is apple flavor. It is sweet and doesn't really taste like apple. It tastes like a cream soda. There's like almost no apple flavor. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's barely apple flavor. But yeah, that's the local drink, Hoya. Hoya from Monterrey. This place is pretty packed for a Saturday. Like they are, I feel like everyone in Monterrey is here on this walking street. Lots of different people selling stuff outside, but then everywhere you go inside is like a mall with more stores. There are restaurants outside, you know, it's just people everywhere. I'm surprised how few food vendors there are. It's definitely like a lot more organized. You can't just sort of set up shop. People are mostly just selling like balloons and really random stuff that they can hold. But yeah, it's kind of like very, very mall focused. It's interesting. So one thing I wanted to note were the prices here. And so I feel like a lot of Americans might be thinking, oh, I want to come to Mexico. It's going to be a great deal. Everything's going to be cheap. And that might have been how Mexico was 10, 20 years ago. That is not the case anymore. And I think things are very different now. And so we'll give an example. So the soda I just had, that was $1. It was like 19 pesos, maybe a little bit more than $1. It's about 17 pesos to $1 right now, and that can vary. And so I feel like, you know, that soda probably would have cost $2, $2.50 in the US, and I'll give it credit, it was a pretty big bottle, so maybe a little bit more. But the thing is, like, I found things here in Mexico to be less than the US, of course, but like not, you know, like maybe 70% of the US price, so like 30% less. And so you're not getting like this massive discount in Mexico that would have been the case many years ago. And you can imagine like living in Mexico, that's got to be really rough because their salaries are nowhere near what you earn in the US. So we might earn 2 to 4 times what they do, but the prices are not 2 to 4 times more in the US. The prices are just a little bit more in the US. And so that's one big difference. I feel like those days of like Mexico being cheap are no longer the case. And if you want like that really cheap vacation, you got to go further south. So, you know, places like Honduras, of course, Guatemala, of course, those places are going to be significantly cheaper. I think it's really interesting when you think about Mexico because yeah, it's a really growing economy and they have like a lot of wealth now, but there's like also a lot of wealth inequality, like a lot of really extreme poverty here. And so in that case, like there's definitely like more inequality than you would see in the US, especially walking around here. And so like, yeah, the prices are a little bit less than they would be if you went up to Texas, but they're also like way out of reach for many of the people that live here. You know, a lot of the poorer people. And so there's a lot of middle-class Mexicans who can afford things, and that's fine, and that's a huge chunk of the people living here, but the poverty is like way more extreme than it would be in the US. I went back to my hotel, freshened up. It is evening now, and I'm back here on the streets in Monterrey. So I've come to this taco place, Takara Orino. which is kind of more of an upscale taqueria. So actually, as I was leaving my hotel, I saw all these people selling tacos on the street, and I was like, damn, that would have been really good. But a friend recommended this place, and so I wanted to come check it out, see a little more upscale experience of some tacos here in Nuevo Leon. So it looks like we got a line of people, and up there we're gonna order the tacos. All right, I just ordered, and so now I'm gonna take a table outside here, and I got my number, so they're gonna bring it out. Very excited. So I ordered the chicharron, the al pastor, and the meat one. I'm not even sure. I barely know what I ordered, but I'm looking forward to it. The food has arrived. So we've got my 3 tacos I ordered. This one's the al pastor. This one I think is like some sort of meat. I'm not exactly sure, but it has the cotija cheese on it and some avocado. And then this last one here, these are the chicharrones. And one thing that's really cool about this place, they have this whole plate of different sauces and salsas and lime and everything that I can put on my tacos here. And finally, I've got this guava juice kind of drink that is really good. Let me show you inside here. It's not too sweet. It's got like a nice sort of sour flavor. It's yeah, very, very refreshing. So let's try these tacos. I mean, I kind of just want to do it raw. I don't want to put anything on it. So let's see. We'll get it with a little bit of lime juice. You can't do anything wrong there. And they gave me some pineapple. So you got to put some pineapple with your al pastor taco. Cool. So this is how we do it. Very, very good. Wow. I think it could use some salsa though. So let's see. Try this one here. Got a nice kick. Wow. Try one more here. This one looks spicy. This is a little like ancho chili look. Ooh, we'll see if I regret this. Wow. Delicious. Next up, the chicharron. So this is like a fried pork chicharron. Oh, it's like falling apart. Oh my God, look at this. You can see it dripping out of the back. I don't know, maybe not everyone eats pork, but man, I love pork. So good. Just like, you can like taste the pig. I don't know how to put it, but it's so good. And we're finishing it up with the res here. So I put some salsa verde on this, which is like a green salsa, but you can see it's covered in this cotija cheese. There's some avocado on here. There is some cilantro on here, and it's beef on the inside. Oh my God, I can't wait. Well, that was a good meal, and much lighter than the meal I had earlier that like filled me up for the entire day. I could only take 3 tacos. Any more than that and I would have like finished myself. So I'm near the University of, well, it's called the Tecnológico de Monterrey, or sometimes just called Tech. And so this is a university here in Monterrey. It is actually one of the #1 universities, most prestigious universities in all of Latin America. So it's actually a really important institution. So I'm actually on my way to a party right now, the birthday party of someone I met on Couchsurfing just a couple days ago. So Couchsurfing is a website where you can meet people and usually stay with them. And I reached out to this guy or girl, it's a couple, and I don't know who I've been chatting with actually. And I've been chatting with them, we'll just say that. And I'm going to their party, their birthday party, and I'm pretty excited, get the cultural experience. And so I was actually gonna stay with them tonight, but they said, you know, look, we're gonna have a birthday party that's probably gonna go late into the evening. So if you want to, you know, stay up, you're welcome to stay with us, but just so you're aware. And I said, you know, I'll stay in a hotel and then I'll just come to your party. And so that's what I'm doing. So I don't know these people, but I'm in for it and I'm excited to meet them. So one of the things that's super interesting about this university is just how everything is fenced in. So all these buildings, there's fences. Fences over here. You can't freely walk into the campus. So in an American university, you can just walk on campus and cut through. So I've actually had to go this circuitous route so that I can get where I'm going, because you can't walk through the campus and there's security, and you have to like have ID and all these things to walk within the campus, within the outdoor area of the campus. Of course, you need IDs and stuff to go into the buildings. But yeah, it's very interesting and very different. And obviously, you know, here with the security situation as it is, I get that. But it's just something I'm noticing as a big difference. Like in US university, you can just walk on campus, that's super normal. But here, no, you have to be a student or somehow be affiliated with the university to go on the campus. Well, I am back at the hotel, and that was a fun night. So I was at a party with some friends that I met on Couchsurfing, of course, and just talked to and met a lot of really interesting people there. I showed a little video earlier of that party, but super fun. Reminded me, you know, of course we're like not far from the US here, but it reminded me of like a typical house party in the US, and met some really interesting people and had a lot of great conversations about what life is like here in Monterrey. So it was a really eye-opening experience, you know, chatting with the locals, understanding that. We talked about the security situation, everything in between. It was really cool. And so that's been a wonderful first day here in Monterrey. Hola. All right, good morning from Monterrey. So a really typical meal here on Sunday is having the barbacoa. Barbacoa is essentially a slow-cooked beef, and they can also use goat and other meats as well, but it's slow cooked, and it has a lot of fat in it, and that fat like crispens and makes it really, really amazing. And it's spiced really well, and so they put it in tacos, and then they throw those tacos on a grill, and then they're frying them and making them really nice and crispy. And so we got a plate here. And so what I put on it, they have different salsas and different things you can try. So I put some onion and cilantro. I put some hot sauce as well on it, like a salsa they have, and then a little bit of lime. and it just makes it so good. Like this is probably one of the best things I've had here. And 5 tacos, about less than $2. Just delicious. I love barbacoa. That is like a real specialty here in Monterrey.